Council meeting for November the 6th. All of our council is present. We will begin our meeting. I don't notice that Pastor Dutton is here. Have I missed you, Pastor? That being the case, we'll begin our meeting with a moment of silence, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance, and I'll invite Scout Caden Stetler to come forward and lead us with the Pledge of Allegiance. But please join me in standing for a moment of silence, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you very much. I think that was particularly relevant given the horrific shooting that our country experienced yesterday in Texas. Our hopes and our prayers are with that community and with the state of Texas, and hope that we see some sort of change in our society, so we're observing that moment of silence less often. We'd invite Caden, please come forward. Caden Stetler from Troop 955 will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you, Caden.
The pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. Tonight at the beginning of our meeting, we do have one item on awards and recognitions agenda that commemorates the fact that this year is the City of Mesa Energy Resources Department's 100th anniversary. And I'd like to invite Energy Resources Department Director Frank McCray forward to please tell us more about this important event. Frank.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. My name is Frank McCray, Director of the Energy Resources Department. So as you said, 2017 marks our centennial. Tonight I'm joined by several members of the Energy Resources Management team and a couple of our more tenured employees as well. So I'd like to recognize them, and as we look forward to another 100 years. Our story actually began in 1895 when Dr. A.J. Chandler, who was a local veterinarian, decided to build a hydroelectric plant on a location which is now known as the Mesa Country Club, to produce electricity for his ranch. He also, in 1985, built a railroad track extending from Tempe to Mesa to what is now the corner of University and Center, where he built a plant that would take fuel oil off of rail cars and extract the natural gas out of it to provide natural gas to the neighboring communities. So in 1917, after a lot of debates and lots of pros and cons, Mesa voters decided to purchase the electric and gas utility, which was then known as the Southside Gas and Electric Company from Dr. A.J. Chandler. And so that's the start of our 100 years here in Mesa. A couple other milestones through the years. In 1934, a 7-mile pipeline was built in the south side of Tempe to a pipeline that was then owned by a company named Western Gas Company. They ultimately became known as El Paso Natural Gas and now are known as Kinder Morgan. But that pipeline allowed us to stop extracting gas from fuel oil and provide natural gas to our customers and our citizens. In 1960, another pipeline was built to what is now the corner of the railroad tracks and the 101. And there we built a station that connects us to El Paso Natural Gas. And that allowed us to get more reliable supplies and more economical supplies from El Paso Natural Gas. And since that time, we've added total of five of those types of gate stations to bring natural gas to our communities. In 2000, the Utilities Department, which was then responsible for managing the electric, the gas, the water, and the wastewater utilities, built a building at 640 North Mesa Drive, and that's known as the C.K. Luster Utilities Building, in honor of our city manager for many years. In 2017, partnering with engineering and fleet and with the solid waste department, we built a compressed natural gas station that's now allowing for the solid waste fleet to be converted from diesel to natural gas with all of the environmental and economic benefits of that. Also in 2017, we were recognized by some associations that we're members of, the American Public Power Association gave us our second Reliable Public Power Provider Award, as well as a certificate for excellence in reliability. And it was also the year that the American Public Gas Association gave us their System Operations Achievement and Recognition Award, also known as SOAR. So obviously a lot has changed over the last 100 years, but one thing has stayed the same and stayed a constant, and that's our desire and us trying to achieve a very high, reliable, high quality gas and electric services to our customers. So this week, as part of the centennial celebration on the north side of the Mesa City Plaza on Thursday morning, we'll be unveiling a couple of wraps around utility boxes in the downtown area. So we look forward to that event on Thursday. The artwork will celebrate how Mesa's electric and gas utilities have energized downtown Mesa, how they've energized a safe community, how we've energized creativity, energized a sustainable city, and energized a strong workforce, including our focused efforts to hire veterans of the United States military. I'd like to now share a quick walk down memory lane to highlight the workforce that has provided the safe, reliable energy to Mesa. Thank you, Council, and thank you, Mayor, for all your support, and thanks to the City Manager's office as well. And I think we'd like to take a picture, if that's okay.
Yes, thank you. Just you. Well, I think the council.
I'd like the Council.
Anybody who has the energy. This is a big crowd. Come on, go ahead and fill in. Maybe, can we stagger this a little bit? Maybe we get some of us up here? I'm in front because they want to see. Brought a person for every year that they've been in business. Thank you very much. Well, thank you. I think that really is one of the legacies of Mesa. We are known as a city that is an excellent utility provider and particularly a great energy company. So thank you, Frank, and thank you for everyone for the last 100 years that has made that one of the characteristics and one of the strengths of Mesa, Arizona. We appreciate that. The next item on our agenda is the consent agenda. I'd invite Mr. Kevin Christopher forward to read the consent agenda. Mr. Christopher.
Good evening, Mayor and Council members. These are the items on the consent agenda. All items listed with an asterisk will be considered as a group by the City Council and will be enacted with one motion. There will be no separate discussion unless a council member or citizen requests, in which event the item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered as a separate item. If a citizen wants an item removed, a blue card must be completed and given to the city clerk prior to the council's vote on the consent agenda. Item 2, approval of minutes of previous meetings as written. Item 3A, act on liquor license application for commemorative Air Force Air Base Arizona Museum one-day charitable event Saturday, March 17th, 2017, North Greenfield Road. Item 3B, act on liquor license application for Foundation for the Conservation of Arizona's Wildlife two-day charitable event Saturday, December 2nd and Sunday, December 3rd, 7200 East University Drive. Item 3C, act on liquor license application for Grand Canyon Council, Boy Scouts of America, one-day charitable event Saturday, December 2nd, 2100 West Rio Salado Parkway. Item 3D, act on liquor license application for Queen of Peace Roman Catholic Parish, one-day charitable event Sunday, November 19th, 141 North McDonald. Item 3E, act on liquor license application for Wings of Flight Foundation Incorporated, one-day charitable event Saturday, December 16th, 4863 East Falcon Drive. Item 3F, act on liquor license application for Fast Market 8133, 7542 East Southern Avenue. Item 3G, act on liquor license application for Fast Market 8134, 7060 East Baseline Road. Item 3H, act on liquor license application for Fast Market 8135, 9151 East Guadalupe Road. Item 3I, act on liquor license application for Gangnam Kimak, 1350 South Longmore. Item 3J, act on liquor license application for Village of Elgin Winery, 4601 East Dolphin Avenue. Item 4A, act on 3-year term contract for lamps and components for streetlights for the Materials and Supply Warehouse for the Transportation Department. Item 4B, act on 1-year renewal contract for comprehensive banking services. Item 4C, act on 1-year renewal contract for library collection services for the Library Services Department. Item 4D, act on 3-year term contract for safety supplies for the Materials and Supply Warehouse for various city departments. Item 4E, act on 1-year renewal contract for cool deck resurfacing and repair services for the Parks, Recreation, and Community Facilities Department. Item 4F, act on 3-year term contract for commercial electrical contractor services as requested by the Parks, Recreation, and Community Facilities Department. Item 4G, act on 1-year renewal contract for helicopter engine parts and repairs for the Police Department. Item 4H, act on 1-year renewal contract for vehicle rental services for the Police Department. This contract is funded by Asset Forfeiture RICO funds. Item 4I, act on contract to purchase 1 light-duty pickup truck for the Police Department and 3 light-duty pickup trucks for the Fire and Medical Department. The Police Department's purchase is grant funded by the Arizona Department of Homeland Security. Item 4J, act on 1-year renewal contract for aftermarket parts for automotive and light-duty trucks for the Fleet Services Department. Item 4K, act on 3-year renewal contract for automotive transmission repairs, services, and replacements for the Fleet Services and Fire and Medical Departments. Item 4L, act on 1-year renewal contract for electrical installation and maintenance services for utilities infrastructure for the Water Resources Department. Item 4M, act on dollar limit increase to the term contract for residential refuse and recycling containers for the Environmental Management and Sustainability Department. Item 4N, act on 3-year term contract for electric motors, purchase and repairs rewinds for the Water Resources Department. Item 4O, act on 1-year term contract for replacement influent pump discharge valve actuators for the Water Resources Department. Item 4P, act on 3-year term contract for ultraviolet lamp assemblies for the Water Resources Department. Item 4Q, act on contract for household hazardous waste facility construction manager risk, guaranteed maximum price. Funding is available from the 1994 Solid Waste Bond Program and the Environmental Compliance Fee. Item 5A, act on resolution approving and authorizing the city manager to enter into a grant award with the U.S. Department of Justice, Office of Justice Programs to accept grant funds for overtime and equipment for DNA backlog reduction for the Police Department's Forensic Services Division. Item 5B, act on resolution approving and authorizing the city manager to enter into a sub-recipient agreement with the Arizona Department of Homeland Security to accept grant funds for equipment and training for the Police Department's Terrorism Liaison Program. Item 5C, act on resolution approving and authorizing the city manager to enter into a sub-recipient agreement with the Arizona Department of Homeland Security to accept grant funds for equipment and training to support and sustain the Police Department's Rapid Response Task Force. Item 6A, act on ordinance regarding ZON 17-00184, the 0 to 100 block of South Pomeroy located west of Mesa Drive, south of Main Street. This is a rezone to allow for development of a mixed-use project to include residential and commercial land uses with a parking structure. Item 6B, act on ordinance regarding ZON 17-00040, the 100 through 200 blocks of South 70th Street on the west side. This is located east of Power Road and north of Broadway Road. council use permit to convert a former nursing home to an inpatient detox and substance abuse treatment facility. Item 7A, act on subdivision plat Skyview, located east of the 200 to 400 blocks of North Power Road and south of the 6,800 to 7,000 blocks of East University Drive. And item 7B, act on subdivision plat Estates at Valencia South, the 1,000 block of North Greenfield Road, located south of the southeast corner of Greenfield and Brown Roads. Mayor and council members, these are the items on the consent agenda.
Thank you, Mr. Christopher. I have received a few different blue cards requesting to speak on different items. Two of them, one of them related to item 6B and asked that it be pulled, that they speak only if the item be pulled from the consent, but I don't have any request to pull it from the consent, so I think we're good on not calling those folks up. Item 4C and 3F and G, I believe, Ms. Smith, have your questions regarding the library issues been resolved? Are you content to not have that? When we, Ms. Smith, when we chatted earlier, I think you've talked with our librarian, and I'm under the impression that you don't want to take that off. Okay.
She wants to talk about the liquor licenses.
Thank you very much. Thank you. That confirms what she told me a moment ago. So we're not quite ready for you yet, Ms. Smith. So we do have a request then to take items 3F and 3G, 2 liquor licenses, off of the consent agenda. So, Ms. Mickelson, any other requests to speak? Okay, thank you. So with that exception, items 3F and 3G removed from the consent agenda. I see there's a motion made by Mr. Thompson, seconded by Mr. Glover. Please cast your vote. Thank you. The vote is unanimous in favor of the items on the consent agenda. We will now hear item 3F and 3G, which are 2 liquor license applications. 3F being a convenience store is requesting a new Series 10 beer and wine store license for Quick Way Retail Associate 2 Ltd. is the name of the applicant. It's very similar to the 3F and 3G are pretty much identical liquor license applications. Does the applicant for these liquor licenses happen to be in the room? Okay, thank you. Sir, if you'd like, you certainly would have the opportunity to speak and address the merits of why you ought to receive these liquor license applications. Would you like to have that opportunity?
Sure, if it's necessary.
I don't know if it's necessary or not, but I just want to make sure you have that opportunity if you'd like to take it. Thank you very much. That being the case, I would invite Shirley, Ms. Smith. Please come forward. This is your opportunity, Shirley, to let us know what you want us to hear regarding these liquor license applications.
My name is Shirley Smith, and I've moved here from Alaska, and I've had family members killed by drunk drivers, and I do not think we need any more liquor licenses renewed. I think we need to cut it down because it's so hard when you see people either killed in a stop-and-go place or they go down the road and kill somebody. I really think we need to curb it if at all possible. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Ms. Smith, may I ask you a question? Is your opposition to liquor licenses generally, or is it specific to these particular stores that you have a concern?
Okay.
Okay, thank you. If there's, council, any comments or questions on this item? If not, is there a motion? Thank you. Mr. Thompson has made the motion. And is there a second? Thank you.
Mayor and council, is that for both 3F and 3G? Is the motion
Thank you.
to approve both
Thank you.
3F and 3G?
Well, let me ask you, Mr. Smith, is it appropriate to make a motion for both?
You could, yes.
Thank you. Mr. Freeman, is that your intent, and Mr. Thompson, to make a motion for both?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so items 3F and 3G are both the subject of a motion for approval. Please cast your vote. Thank you. The vote is unanimous in favor of approval. The next item on our agenda is items from citizens present. Ms. Smith, this is, you have requested to speak again. I think you had a question regarding the bus service. Is that correct?
Sorry about that. I get confused. This is a little different from what I'm used to. I've been riding the buses ever since I came here about 2 months ago. And my biggest problem, besides the stops being so far apart, is that the bus drivers refuse to lower the ramp so that I can bring something like that full of groceries or my walker. And I asked them politely, could you please lower the ramp? And one woman in particular picked that thing up full of food and just on the bus. I said, okay, be calm, be nice. And then when I came time to get off, I had to ask someone getting on the bus from the street, could you help me get it off? Because they will not lower it. And it's really a hardship for me. I don't know if I should try getting my license again or if I should take a taxi all the time because of that. It's just awful. At the last time I took one, I took from Maine all the way to Power. And then I had to take one from Power, trying to find the library further down the road. The bus driver took me 1 block, dropped me off. I says, well, where is it? I said, I'm new here, I don't know. They said I would have had to walk another city length plus more. I have cysts on both of my ankles, in case anybody wants to look. It's not nice. And to have to do that without a power chair, having to walk that distance, it's really, I would say, uncalled for. And I always liked Arizona, especially Phoenix, but I don't know if it has progressed for the good or for the worse. But at least you listened to me, and I thank you for that.
Ms. Smith, thank you for coming. Thank you for sharing on all of those topics. We appreciate it. Unfortunately, because this item isn't on our agenda, we can't specifically respond, but I'm sure our staff will connect with you and make sure that we know how to respond to the comments you made.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. That concludes the items on our agenda for this meeting. I would like to recognize the presence of one of our great school board members from Gilbert Public Schools, Jill Humphreys. Thank you for being with us, Jill. We appreciate. A third of Gilbert Public Schools is in the city of Mesa, so we appreciate the great work of Gilbert Public Schools, and congratulations on hiring a fantastic superintendent. If there's nothing else, council, I would entertain a motion to adjourn this meeting. Thank you, Mr. Thompson.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Freeman. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. We are adjourned.